Hey guys, welcome back to brand new videos. And the brand new article was dropped by Gixie Gamers, and I want to talk more about the Odysseys. Has been the major discussion in social media across the internet for a couple of weeks now. And this latest article from Gamers by Marvel Montero says women of the Odyssey continuing comments about the almost epic from not enough women to verification of women. And there's been some cast members of the Odyssey going viral, especially cast that take might not be the major focus point, or cast that may generate at least 10 or 15 minutes of screen time. So let's get dive into what this article is about and figure what's happening with the Odyssey and trying to at the end come to a conclusion if the Odyssey movie itself will be a successful for Christopher Nolan or be a flop. Let's dive in. The press tour for Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey continued to generate controversy, and that's something I couldn't agree more. It's been controversial for a while right now. Several of the film's famous stars have made comments about almost legendary work that have led some fans questioning just how familiar the cast is with nearly 3,000 years of old epic poems. Well, Noah's upcoming adaptation has already become one of the most debated films of the years. The movie trailer has accumulated hundreds of thousands of dislikes on YouTube, and that is true. There are some. I think if you go to the main YouTube channel, you can see there's over 600k thousand dislikes. I believe so, which is crazy. And I'm guessing just for elements of Troy and some of the other cast members, and it's crazy. The movie trailer has accumulated hundreds of thousands of dislikes on YouTube, while some viewers have criticized casting choice as questioned whether the film will faithfully represent one of the most influential stories in Western literature. Now, comment from Lupta, Zendaya, and Samantha are adding more fuel to the discussion, with each actress offering a glimpse into how they approach almost work and the female character of the Odyssey. Well, let's start off with Lupta Gupta. I'm guessing the enemies of Troy. She made a controversial out of touch comment of our portrayal of Ellen of Troy in the film. It suggests that the original epic spent very little time exploring women. Again, the Odyssey it has a major cast of women. The love story, the love dynamics of the Odyssey, and him, the Odyssey of visiting tons of island with women too, and also that, and again, the people that invade the Odyssey's homes trying to steal the Odyssey's wife, trying to take his castle, his foundation, and also Athena too, the major focus of the Odyssey too. There's women in the plot of the Odyssey in the Lilith epic. So what she's saying, I feel like it's out of touch, and we can share a clip of what she was saying.
I'd be like, so Homer, how do you feel about the screen time given to these women, considering how little you spent with them? Oh, okay.
And then do you lean forward and look at him like that?
Yes, like, remember us?
Remember us? That's crazy. That 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 is just crazy. Ah, that's crazy. Remember us? The comment has quickly sparked pushback from fans of Greek mythology, who also pointed out that where Homer works were not written from a modern perspective, the Odyssey is filled with female characters who play a crucial role in the story. That's true, and I'm tired of Hollywood with this day of age making films or TV shows about the modern world. We need classic, like look at what happened to the Lady of Us. Huge fan of James Bond. Yeah, the movie has failed because it's too much of the modern James Bond. Like it lacked James Bond itself. That's why some of those classic movies has failed. Supergirl too. It lacks it lacks the cast. It lacks what the audience wants. It didn't follow the audience adaptation. Supergirl also failed too. It's like some of this major Hollywood movie, it's failing because it's diving into the modern audience, start to capture new cast that doesn't exist. So it's truly out of touch of them. Now let's continue. Athena is now married back in character true. That's under member. She's Odyssey, the event protector, and one of the driving forces behind his journey home. The goddess repeatedly intervenes on his behalf, advising, protect his family, and help guide events throughout the epic. Penelope, Odysseus' wife, again is one of the central figures of the story. While Odysseus battles monsters and gods on the journey home, Penelope fights a battle of her own in Attica, using her intelligence and patience to outmaneuver the suitor attempting to take her husband's throne. The epic is also featuring figures like Circe, Calypso, Nausea, and others, of whom have led agency and dramatic after the course of Odyssey's journey. While the Odyssey is undoubtedly the story of the Odysseys, the idea that human women lack importance or complexity has been challenged by the readers, who argues these characters are part of the reason the story has endured for thousands of years. And that is true. And one of these social media video that also comes up was Zendaya admitted that she never studied Odyssey before playing that thing. Then why would Christopher Nolan cast people like this? Why would Christopher Nolan cast them? They even they didn't take at least an hour, 2 days a week to at least get a feel about the books of the Odyssey. Some of the successful books. They didn't get a feel, didn't know the background, just cast. Just I feel like it's a cast that the director has full power to control what they cast are doing because they're not familiar with the Odyssey. So in their own mind, the director can persuade the cast themselves. So that's my own mind, and I could be wrong. So Zendaya, who played F10 in Nolan's film, also raised eyebrows when asked about our relationship with the source material. She quote, I didn't read it in school, but I think I guess I had more like cultural understanding. There are so many characters, epics, topics that have been brought up through pop culture, so I guess I didn't even understand how reference it is. And she continues, but I think Greek mythology is fascinating, and it was really fun to learn more about Athena and her becoming and what she's supposed to represent in the story. And also get lost in the script because the script was so beautiful. Hey, I think she at least trying. A word sounds like she was trying, but still, not understanding is questionable. They're questionable from here. And let's look at Samantha. I feel like Zendaya, she is the least of the worst of what's been happening. So let's move on to Samantha. The conversation continues with Samantha, who plays Cersei, discuss Christopher Nolan's interpretation of the famous sorceress. Morton suggests that Noah's version of Sussex pushed back against historical portrayal of women as villains. What? To my opinion, Sussex was wanted to have Odysseus decided not to return to rule, have Odysseus and all by themselves, to persuade Odysseus to stay with him. That's the way she's taking this. It's out of touch and it's questionable. So let's take a look at what she was saying.
In history, women have been vilified, whether you're a midwife.
Oh my god. Let's read this for a while. It's too loud. I think so.
Whether you're, a herbalist, whether you're a healer, whether you're just in tune with the moon, like women have just been vilified throughout history, and I think that was my take on it. But also, Chris's interpretation of the original text and then kind of condensing it into this essential oil of Circe was phenomenal, and that I just worked from the text. It was all there for me.
It was out there for me. Wow. That, that, that was crazy. Like, what text is she referring? Is she referring to the latest version that's, what I'm talking about, that's like changed for money or just as trying to not make fun of or to correct the wrong of the past? I'm guessing that's what the text Christopher Nolan is using. And if you guys know the test in the comments, you can also comment down below what Christopher Nolan test he might be done to play the Odyssey itself. So let's continue. As you can see what she said, it's really crazy. So, however, sources were in the Odyssey is far from complete than simply being an example of a woman who is unverified. In the original epic, sources introduced as a dangerous figure. When Odyssey's men arrived on the island of Aia, she gave them a potion that transformed them into pigs. Odysseus only avoided suffering the same fate after receiving help from Hermes, who gave him protection against all magic. So, I wonder, I wonder if the film would have something like this, because all saying the kind of nonsense she was saying, I'm questioning of what the film would be, because I wonder if this would be in the film or would this be changed. That's something I'm curious about. But Homer does not leave Cersei as one-dimensional villain. After a confrontation with Odyssey, Cersei restores his men, welcomes the crew, and becomes one of the most important allies. She provides Odyssey with crucial knowledge about the dangers ahead, including his journey to the underworld, the sirens, and the threat of Valkyrie and Chablis. In other words, Cersei was already powerful, mysterious, dangerous, intelligent, and complicated in Homer's story nearly 3,000 years ago. And overall, let's jump on to it. Let's conclude. Is Hollywood fixing Armor or misunderstanding him? And my answer is Hollywood is misunderstanding him and putting their own touch for a so-called modern audience in the year 2026. And that is a dangerous set of events that's happening. So the growing debate surrounding the Odyssey is not simply about whether Christopher Nolan makes change to the origin story. Every adaptation requires change when moving from one medium to another. That is true. We have different adaptations of books, themes, movies, and there's a couple of movies about the Odysseys back in the 50s, 60s, and the 90s. It's accessible on YouTube. It's accessible online. People can browse and check. Yeah, and then I recommend you guys to browse some of those Odysseys movies. If you have time, check it out and check it out before watching the Christopher Nolan's version. It's truly important to see. So the larger question being raised by critics is whether Hollywood views this ancient story as timeless work to be adapted or outdated, or if they need to be corrected. And I truly know what the answer is. Hollywood views this as an outdated work that needs to be corrected. And now for generation, readers have found strength, wisdom, loyalty, temptation, heroism, and tragedy within the almost characters, and including the female characters itself, such as Athena, Penelope, Sources, and others have endured for thousands of years because they have other memorable figures. As Snow is the same of closer to release, the question Sutter will be asking is whether the films honors those characters or attempts to reinvent them for a modern audience. And I truly know what the answer will be. Is this attempt to reinvent for modern audience? Let me guys know what you guys think about the Odysseys. Do you think it will be a failure or successful? Let us know in the comments, and I'll catch you guys on a new video. Thank you, and like and share and subscribe. Bye bye.